Alrighty, this is the impossible light activity that the entity is aiming through the venue. This is demonic. This is an admission to gang stalking. It's supernatural. It's absolutely impossible to occur under any circumstances, and it is targeting with light. This engineered light is how you are understanding the existence, the ongoing occurrence of surveillance, and it is directly affecting communication devices, and it is pursuant to what is stalking activity. Where this light is present, the people of the state, the government is engaged in criminal stalking, and it's pursuant to what is monitoring, and it's criminal surveillance. And I have a body of evidence showing what is engineered light. It is also happening with regard to what it is that I happen to be documenting on the video of the internet. So it is pursuant to Title 18 federal stalking. And this is what I am currently editing regarding the entity that committed kidnapping, the medical professionals criminally misusing medical license and California bar licensure. As I publish such evidence, I am being accosted. You can see it over here, but the reason why I'm aiming it over here is because that's where you see it. While Vince walks by, the people of the state are driving, and impossible light is flooding through here. It's muted right now, if you will, meaning they're doing a lot more when I'm not recording, but I've documented the entity showing the fact that they are admittedly gang stalking and targeting me. The fact of impossible light activity is the admission of the gang stalkers. It's the admission of the demon possessed as well. You're looking at what is, first of all, inside of the building and outside. They're in shade, where impossible light activity is necessarily the case. Impossible light activity is pursuant to targeting a specific person and knowing what that person is doing, especially when I happen to be documenting a kidnapping that this entity engaged in. So this is where the people of the state are entering in. Gang stalking, they enter into the restaurant. They walk crossing path into the bathroom while traffic is a means of crossing path, and they're doing so in the specific environment pursuant to monitoring. So I wanted to document this is the entity that's engaging in that light activity and is doing so pursuant to what is criminal monitoring what it is that I am doing online, which is the Ontario Police Department's engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring with the people of the state. This is demonic pacing. This is what they were doing with the minors, one after another, in the impossible light under the fake sun. And this is shade while that light activity is present, and they literally come in and show you gang stalking on video right now. That's the pattern of conduct. That's what they're doing, and the Starbucks personnel are doing the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the fake sun. That's still over the same venue that it was this morning at 4 p.m. when I'm documenting American medical response under the 12:50 p.m. That's not the product of sunlight. That's stationary engineer light. Starbucks is admittedly gang stalking. This is shade. That's all shade. This is all covered structure shade. And this shade is an illusion. It's the presence of engineered light, meaning the shadow of the building is flat on the ground and it's extending farther and farther into the street. It's creating the illusion, and it's an unpersuasive and unintelligent one. The fake sun is over the same building. It's over the same sidewalk. So I just go out to where the shade stops, and then you'll see the fake sun over the same exact location. This is where demons are stalking, engaging in surveillance in bathrooms. It's pathetic. It's also perverted, it's psychopathic, and it's obsessive. This is what the entity is doing while they have impossible light on the drive-through window, and they are engaging in gang stalking with the people of the state that enter. There's no vantage point where sunlight is ever going to occur like you're seeing on the inside of the building. The entity is admittedly targeting with the Ontario police that's stalking by helicopter, 8 RMN 905. That would be federal prison. And there's a fake sun over the same position. L. Martinez, B. Hook, and what is Nathan Morgan, and the entity gang stalking by the Ontario Police Department committing kidnapping on May 29, 2025 under the fake sign at Woodside Senior Apartments. Stalking by helicopter when I capture very damning evidence. The demons are in the bathroom, pacing all around me. The demons preparing the drinks are doing so, and engaging what is stalking with helicopter is an admission against 8 LYG 551, who's engaged in criminal surveillance with them, and furtherance of murder, kidnapping, and psychological torture, like you just witnessed. The Ontario Police Department engaging in demonic pacing, exhibiting severe mental instability. So does the impossible light activity. This is impossible that the sun would be over here, and it's at the same time over me in Los Angeles, where LAPD is gang stalking. Impossible light while 7YLE893 crosses path and moves across the curb. That's the supernatural means of identifying targeting, and this is the physical means of identifying targeting, stalking in helicopters day and night. The fake sun during the day, the fake moon at night. I just want to be clear again. Tracy Banks, Jason Isaac Fields, the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, the Ontario Police Department, the people of the state committing kidnapping as one. And they are demons targeting together, and the Ontario Police Department is flying higher than the fake sun is over the building. They enter into the cafe gang stalking with the Ontario Police. That's federal prison. 7WWS 985. That's federal prison. They're engaged in federal stalking with the Ontario Police, who provides evidence against them. You have the P.O.C. Okay, this is the entity engaged in federal stalking, surveillance, and psychological torture together. Yeah, no problem. Omnitrans, that's crossing path. That's P.O.C. The entity engaging in what is pacing by helicopter, and it's evidence against Nathan Morgan, who's going to federal prison. It's evidence against B. Hook, who's going to federal prison. It's evidence against L. Martinez, who's going to federal prison. It's evidence against the entity that is gang stalking, including, let me show you this. This is impossible light activity while opening and closing the door. Okay, that's P.O.C. And the Ontario Police is gang stalking, flying over. Who's going to federal prison? Everybody that's inside of Starbucks right now is federal prison. That's Elena, that's Saul. Vince is here gang stalking with the Ontario Police. The entity, as you see in the images, gang stalking with those under the age of majority. And the Ontario Police Department is being disbanded, like I've been stating, like the evidence proves. And they're demonstrating mental illness while they're surrounded with the probative evidence. And they're engaging in gang stalking now when it's exposed, like it's still not happening. Those are the psychopathic and antisocial disorders that the people of the state, the demon possessed, are trying to conceal. Their mental illness is not closeted, and it's also demonstrated with the impossible light activity in the same way that the demons pacing in helicopter exhibit severe mental instability. This is psychopathic behavior. Like I said, the demons that are going to federal prison, it includes Brian Calvin Hartnell. He's committing kidnapping while he's using his California bar license. He's gang stalking in the court. He's committed kidnapping with the entity, the Ontario Police Department, that starts the kidnapping, where the people of the state make false allegations where they're targeting you. This is what Tracy Banks is doing at Woodside Senior Apartments, intentionally doing so with the Ontario Police, who are engaged in surveillance, just like they demonstrated and the people of the state demonstrated in the specific environment, committing a kidnapping and abusing the Welfare and Institutions Code to procure that unlawful arrest, where the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center is engaged in gang stalking as well, replete with the fake sun over that venue, including over the San Bernardino Superior Court, where Brian Calvin Hartnell, California bar license 66138, is engaging in what is audible activity, relevant positioning, and activity creation, light activity, is ongoing in this courtroom where I'm being gang stalked, where I'm being monitored, and they're simultaneously maintaining a court hearing pursuant to what is a kidnapping and the non-existence of any mental illness. The entity is manufacturing it during the course of an ongoing kidnapping to engage in criminal defamation. And as I publish this information online, this is what the entity is, as the Ontario Police Department that committed that kidnapping on May 29th admits. This is what they're monitoring. This is what's inspiring my being accosted and terrorized and molested with impossible light, and then being terrorized and psychologically harmed and threatened by helicopter, which is the pattern of conduct by the people of the state, or the psychopaths are acting like nothing happened. That's federal prison for the employees, federal prison for the demons, the license plate, and it's federal prison for the demons that are gang stalking on May 29, 2025. And it's Nathan Morgan, B. Hook, C. Torres, and L. Martinez. Vehicle license 1697625. It was vehicle number 1118. While they're in the specific environment where the Ontario Police Department are regularly documented, as this evidence that I'm publishing on the internet shows, where every hour of the day the entity has the fake sun over Tracy Banks' apartment over the top of my head at Woodside, where in all of these videos the Ontario Police Department are gang stalking me in helicopter, and then they arrive pursuant to criminal summoning by Tracy Banks, and they're inside of her apartment engaging in what is waging false allegations that they know are not false, they know are not true. So meaning it's not just Tracy making allegations that the police don't know is false. The police are gang stalking, and so is Tracy Banks. It's a malicious assertion of false allegations in order to engage in what is and abuse under the Welfare and Institutions Code by the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center that maintains this same environment. Impossible light under the fake sun and gang stalking with the Colton Police Department that sounded helicopter activity inside of that facility, where they were engaging in the P.O.C. and coexisting with what is the criminal misuse of the medical profession, where they're not practicing practicing medicine. They're engaging in what psychological torture in a facility, and then using harassment as a means to try to trigger, and that's not the practice of medicine, and that's also not how you diagnose mental illness. But I documented all of it because they're going to federal prison. And I documented what is Brian Calvin Hartnell, who's going to federal prison for gang stalking me and criminally misusing a law license, and doing so with the Ontario Police Department, which is all state action that he is intentionally and maliciously engaging in. You're not ignorantly in that specific environment at that venue, engaging in what is the use of a license where the entity is corrupt and engaging in kidnapping in the ways in which I've documented. This is P.O.C. It's currently 4:08 p.m. This is going toward what is, again, the disbanding of the Ontario Police Department, who engaged in what is flying in a circle showing clear targeting of me, and it's also shared with the clear targeting and demonstrated in the specific environment where the fake sun has been remaining over this venue, like I documented during the 8 a.m. hour. I documented C. Torres gang stalking in this very venue at 2:47 p.m. I documented Corey Watson gang stalking in this very venue, both of them kidnapping me. Corey Watson under the 9:16 a.m. fake sun, and it's still over the same building. The entity that lacks self-control provides very damning evidence against itself and the entire state of California. And at the same time, on this day in 2024, the entity is maintaining the fake sun while LAPD is gang stalking me in Los Angeles under the fake sun that's over my head and in alignment to my bedroom as well, where I'm subject to that pattern of conduct. Again, I just want to remind you about who's going to federal prison. Not only Jason Isaac Fields, Tracy Banks, but also the demons of the Ontario Police Department, the state actors that are engaging in what is criminal surveillance, and it is not law enforcement. And they engaged in kidnapping on May 29, 2025. Nathan Morgan, badge number 21887. B. Hook, badge number 80551. C. Torres, badge number 21370. And L. Martinez. It is currently 4:09 p.m. where you're seeing the fake sun remaining stationary, and you just witnessed the Ontario Police Department again engaging in what is gang stalking by helicopter. And this is done in furtherance of murder and kidnapping while the entity is monitoring the evidence with regard to an intolerable and impermissible threat. This is the entity that is still stalking and threatening my life while aware that an American citizen is enforcing as though they're going to accomplish murder and kidnapping, regardless of the fact that I am enforcing my rights under the Constitution and my human rights. And that's also relevant to federal prison terms for the Ontario Police and the disbanding of the Ontario Police, and federal prison terms for the people of the state. This is P.O.C.